Welcome, everyone. It's Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Sorry about the technical difficulties we're dealing with here this morning. This is crazy. My system has changed the monitor that it presents from, and I had to figure out how to get the PowerPoint on the right monitor. It is nuts. Give me a 1 for yes if you're seeing my Power Hour slide, a 2 for no if you're not, please. Okay, perfect. Thank goodness. Yowzer. All right, good. Let's go ahead and get video going. Move that over. I can see me. All right, perfect. So we had a meeting this morning, company meeting, and Sean says to me, "Hey, you coming into the office today?" I said, "No, how's the noise with the construction?" He goes, "Oh, it's pretty bad. I can hardly hear with the nail guns. They're putting molding up on the wall, which is adjacent to our recording studio." I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're probably not going to do it from there. We'll do it from here." Hey, Jim, how you doing? Good. Morning, Helen. Computers are wonderful. Can't live with them, can't live without them, right? Or I would rather live without them, that's for sure. Without a doubt. So cool. As we get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for educational purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you like what you see, if you like what you see, let me shut that off. Go ahead, and if you like what you see on any candidates in here, make sure they fit your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. Don't ever trade something without making sure that it fits for you. All right. Let's see. We've got a lot going on. We've got check-in coming in tonight for Inner Circle. The next full session is on May 15th. No, actually, that's not true. That's the next check-in also. We've got Mastering the Trade, which is the 8th. Let's see, that would be today. That's for all of you that are in POP. You'll automatically be registered for that training. You'll be in there tonight at 8 o'clock. We've got a brand new topic we're going to cover in there, so make sure you are there. Mastermind group tomorrow, the 9th. Vegas spreads also tomorrow night. Patterns in a flash coming up on the 11th. We've got a lot of training happening this week. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook Patterns today, coming up May 9th and 10th. Protect, Preserve, and Win in Uncertain Times on the 23rd. Power Hour Trading Coach Playbook are also regular schedule, as is Pop, Covered Call, E-mini, and Vega. No changes to those that I know of at all for this upcoming week. Right, here's our follow us page. I really want you to make sure that you're focused on trading like a boss. There's a very important, we've got a small group here today, which is a little surprising. There's a very important change taking place, and I want you to be aware of it, of what we're looking to do. So it looks like we're going to sunset, I guess. I don't know a better word for it. Market mornings, meaning we're not going to be doing market mornings any longer. We're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to start doing it in the afternoon instead of in the mornings. I know so many of you have emailed and said, "Rob, I love it, but by the time I get to see it, the trade is over, or it's already moved and I can't take advantage of it, or I'm at work. How do I take advantage of this?" So we're going to look at doing stuff in the afternoon for tomorrow. All right. So we'll be adding some of those to our docket coming up shortly. And we've done it before where it's a site that we own called, well, you go to Trading Like a Boss, right? And then you go down and there is a Trade with Rob down at the very bottom, right? We're going to move these around a little bit. That Trade with Rob is what we're going to go back to, where you're going to have a couple of different trading ideas each day. My goal is to do this 2 to 3 times a week, and it's really going to be predicated on schedule and as well as what the market offers us. So as an example, market mornings on Mondays are almost impossible because we have no earnings that came out on Friday night after the market closed. Very little that comes out before the market opens. It's a tougher day to find good news trades, one that I normally don't do much with. Fridays would be the tougher day for me to do them, right? Is on Friday afternoons because we're already doing the SPX video for our newsletter. But between Monday and Thursday, my goal is 2 to 3 days a week to give you some trades. And if you guys remember the spreadsheet we had going on there, let me see if I can find it real quick. Trade with Rob. Let's see. And it's been a while since we've done it, right? It just, if this ever wants to open up. Ooh, interesting. Must be a big file, Rob. So for those of you that were around when we were doing this the last time, we have a lot of people that had signed up on an email list for this. We were doing it once or twice a week. Again, I'm trying to push it 2 to 3 times this week, a week now, and also not just give you a candidate, but give you 2 or 3 candidates as potential trades to work off of. I don't know why this spreadsheet's not working out, but we tracked all our results. We absolutely crushed it in a very short period of time with these trade setups. And we're going to focus very heavily on one particular trade setup, 3 in total, but 1 with the main focus point. That's just not open up. Let me shut it down again, see if it opens a new time. But go ahead over to Trade with Rob. Now, if you're already signed up for market mornings, don't worry. You will automatically be moved into the Trade with Rob list. You'll get that email that it's coming out since you've already asked to subscribe to that. So don't fear on that. You'll get that. For those of you that are not, you're definitely going to want to check it out. So yeah, so we did a lot of zero line breakouts is what it was. All right. So here were the trades that we did. So if you go from mid-May to call it mid-December. So at 7 months, right? We're up $19,000 in 7 months. And none of these were massive home run trades at all. I don't think we had one trade that was more than $2 or $3 grand. Let's see. We did not. 2,000 was the highest we had, and that was on Adobe, right? Yeah, so go ahead and check it out, guys, right? It'll be video set up just like we have with market mornings. And what we'll be doing in there is walking through the potential trades for that next day. All right. So you'll have some things. And here's the greatest part about this. This strategy doesn't matter what direction the market moves. There's a potential trade setup regardless of what direction the market goes on the same stock, which is very nice. All right. Let me put this back down. So make sure you check out tradinglikeaboss.com. Here's our trading manifesto for what it means to be a trading boss. You can download this on the main page. You can download this on robertjroy.com as well. I'll just take that out over here for now because sometimes I'm a little slow of a typer. You can download it on there as well. We've got a lot of things that we are adding to the site, guys. This is very preliminary. I've shown it once or twice now, right? The swag part, we're still working on trying to finalize that. I'll have an answer for that finally today, I believe, right? Some free trainings that are here, right? Our blogs, our podcasts, all that good stuff, some of our YouTube videos. So, check that out. We're going to have the manifesto on here as well. We'll be able to download our manifesto up there, but this gets a little bit into my own personal. I did the first blog already on here, right? And it's, welcome, a little bit about me and what I do, right? So this was in our corporate office. All right. Patterns today, make sure you're learning from that pattern whisperer, Mr. Tony Benson. He's got some great trainings coming up for you this week. We don't want to talk about that just yet. All right. So let me take that down. What trades did you guys do today? Drop those trades in. I want to see them. I know we don't have a lot of you in here today. Again, small group. I know what happened. Let's see. Yeah, Will said the zero line breakout. I am glad this is coming back. Yep, yippee. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I am. I really am. Let's see. Do you have a column that shows how much capital you needed for the trades? I don't think we put anything in there for the capital on the trades. This was all based on one contract. Let me see. I don't think we had anything in there for that. No, this was all based on one contract, singular contract on these. Your most expensive ones would have been companies like Adobe, right? Which was $632 at the time when we did the trade. So, nope, nothing in here that we did the options pricing on it. We just put stock pricing in it, not the options price. What the entry price based on the stock was, And the reason for that, actually, it wasn't one contract, it was two. Total P&L 1x right here. So that is based on one contract, total P&L for one contract. Okay. So all I can tell you is the trade setups function phenomenally. You definitely want to capitalize and take advantage of them. Happy Monday to you as well, Jennifer. Ah, happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Jennifer. Happy to spend a few hours with you. Well, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. No trades for Brenda today. Let's see. Trader Will said on Qualcomm, he's up $100. CRM, $450 gain. Good job, Will. Good, really good job. Nice. Jim said, did not get any trades off today. Busy with other items. Last Friday got into call trades. Held most of the day. Did well. Very nice. Good job, Jim. You're welcome. Jennifer, lots of happy birthdays coming through for you. All right, fantastic. So I got two today. Let me take you over first. It's not all the check marks that are in there. Those check marks are for tonight's, mastering the trade, tonight's class in there, right? So the very first, well, actually it's not SPY because that's a pivot trade. So let's just go over to Home Depot, right? The only one that came off this list was Home Depot, right? So what did Home Depot do? If we bring this in a little bit, Home Depot gapped down, stretched up, could not reach back up to the high that we had the previous day, Friday, and failed. So now we've got a 288.48 level that we've got to focus on, right? We've got to keep our eye on that level. So if we go over to Home Depot, 288.48, here's the 288.48 right in here, okay? That's the 288.48 level right there. All right. And what happened? Just phenomenal happened is what it was. You know what? Let me get a drawing tool here. Making sure I didn't get knocked off. Okay. Let's not use red. So we closed, there's the 288.48 level. That's the fib line right there from the end of day chart. We closed just below that on this candle. Third one in, so that's the 945 candle, okay? Right there. It's actually the 940 candle. It's the closing price. This is 945. The next candle, we stretched up and we failed. Right in there, okay? That entry took us in about a buck below there, so 287.5. Right, we had an amazing move to the downside there. We started to flatten off 10:30, 11 o'clock, 11:30, somewhere in there. We started to curl back up. So getting into the trade right about 288, we'll call it, right? Give or take, just to make it easy math. You're getting out of the trade about 285. You got a $3 move on the stock price, which gives us about a $2 move on the options price. So very happy overall with what Home Depot did for me today. Liked it a lot, right? Good setup, good trade. So I'm pleased with it. All right, so that was number one. Again, Mondays are crazy days for me, so I don't get a whole lot done. Next, we've got pivot on SPY. So I looked at Qs, and there was nothing about the Qs that I liked today, really. We closed below. We barely got above. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't believe the move up. It did move, so I just didn't trust that we were going to bounce on NASDAQ today. I remember on CNBC earlier this morning, Joe Kernan going, all right, get your camera, take a picture. You know, the NASDAQ just turned green. Who knows how long it's going to stay, right? So we already were suffering, or not suffering, taking a little bit of a beating this morning pre-market, including, you could see the gap down, right, where we rolled down. So I wasn't sure that we were going to actually bounce or not. So, and I trade SPY much more than I trade Qs, right? SPY, we kind of opened flat. We pulled down to the fib line. We got a nice bounce in there, right? So the first move, the first target, so the entry comes in right here, right? There's the entry candle. And target one, I don't remember which one of these two candles it was. I think it was the first candle. Target one was right there. Okay, somewhere in there. And then I got stopped out of the second half of the trade there. We never made the move back up to R1, but we're only talking about $1 in there, 411.66, 412.63. It's only about $1 in there, so really not a whole lot of profit on it, 50, 60 cents, whatever it was. But I'll take it, and don't get me wrong, I'll take it. There are some that I know that are trading, this exact trade setup that we're talking about right here, and are doing 100 contract increments on it, right? And excuse me, with weekly options, rephrase that, with daily options on SPY and Qs, you can get them pretty inexpensive now because you're buying for today only on these types of trades, right? So overall, I'm pleased with the move today. All right. So not a whole lot, $300 today in the morning. That's okay. Again, Monday's a tougher day for me. And part and parcel was, if we go back and look at the S&P 500, we gapped up, we tipped up just a little bit, and we fell, right? I'm concerned that we couldn't at least break through with a wick on the 41, 44, 59 level. So if we go back to SPX, let's go here. Go to a 5-minute SPX chart. All right, so we got a real quick pop. We came back down, 3 candles, and that was it. We're down. And we got a little bit of a retracement, and look what's happening in here now. So we put in a high. We put in a low. Lower high, higher low. Lower high, higher low. So we have this. Whoops, my mouse ran into the stand. We have this type of pattern happening, this wedge formation that's happening in there. So we don't have a clear path of breakout directionally. Which way? Is it up? Is it down? The answer is yes, it is. It's up or down, right? Or no way, right? I don't have an answer yet, and I never will, right? And I will never be the person that tells you, yes, I can tell you every time it's going to move. I know when that's going to be. Nope. I have trades go against me just like you do. Anybody that says they don't have trades go against them, they lie. Run, Forrest, run. Get the hell out of there when someone's telling you they never have a trade go against them. I know a gentleman that was doing that, a coach, when I was a student, had made a comment that he's never had a trade go against him in his system. Never. In years. Never. And he was a stock buyer. That was his first strategy. His first leg of the strategy was a stock buyer. Come to find out, he was right. He never closed out a trade for a loss, ever. He just didn't close the trade. So when he buy a stock at 60 and it was at 14 cents, he still owned the stock, so he didn't have a losing trade. The company filed bankruptcy, he didn't close it, so he didn't have a losing trade, right? Just be very, very, very careful when it comes to some of that stuff. If someone's telling you that that they never have trades go against them, they're full of it. You're always going to have trades go against you. And it's part of the game. It's part of trading. It's not called winning, it's called trading, right? That's a huge component to remember, all right? Good. So let's look at and analyze the S&P 500. So I've got to tell you, I am very accustomed to go to Omega charts, look at the daily chart. I'll check weekly and monthly on the daily chart, and then transfer over to TradeStation, okay? And here is my biggest problem with TradeStation. Home Depot. I don't need an S. Okay, let's try it again. HD, one more time. Okay. So if I were to draw on Home Depot a fib, let's say that I drew it just for today. Let's say I just drew it for today. This is on my bad. Not what I wanted to do. So let me go ahead and go to a daily chart. Well, no, I don't want to do that here. I have a daily chart. Let's just do that. So here's my daily. right? Whatever. I'm just trying to make it where you could see my point. I'm not trying to do perfection here with the fib. So let's just say we drew from there. Okay, we're close enough. So I've got my Fibonacci drawn on a daily chart. If I go over, right click, go to format symbol, go over to a minute chart, and let's make it 5 minutes, 5 days back. So right now we're sitting at 286. We've got a line at 281.04. All my lines gone. So 281.04 is right about here. All my lines are gone, which is a serious problem because now I have to go back and redraw that line. I can't look quickly and rely on that line to be there. All right, so I'm going to put this back to daily so I don't forget. I'm also going to delete that fib off of there because I don't really want it there. All right, now if we are on Omega charts, you see I've got a whole series of lines, including that 41, 44, 59. Well, actually, let's not use that. Let's go to Amazon. All right. So I've got the 103.60 level right here. Right. If I switch this up from a daily chart to a 5-minute chart, all my lines are still there. Right? See that 103.60 is right there. Right? I don't know what's above. Right? 100-point level is there, 99 and jingle is there. All of my lines are still listed there. Trade Station 10 doesn't do that. So Karen, we have had massive problems with 10. We had it installed in our office and we uninstalled it. It was screwing up with our video card where it wasn't projecting the chart properly. Templates were not opening for us on 10. So we actually uninstalled it at the office and put 9.5 back. I don't know. Again, TradeStation's tech support has kind of gone off a little bit, but I'm glad to hear that it's working in 10 because that's important. And as long as for us, anything we're doing online becomes a problem with 10, which is why we've reverted everything back to 9.5. We were running 10 in the office and we had to go back to 10 to 9.5. So I'm not really practicing Jennifer with TOS. I need to. It's one more thing to add to my life, right? Just one more thing I have to figure out how to do, how to fit in. My wife and I were running around this weekend, and early on Saturday morning, she said, "What does the weekend look like? You have a lot going on for outdoors," because she knew I wanted to get some stuff done outside. I said, I sit back and I look at all the things that we've got to do to open the yard up. We're very big with entertaining on weekends and nights, and just getting stuff ready and all of that. And I said, when I look at the list of stuff that I have to do is massive, right? And that just doesn't work well for me, right? I don't do well with big lists, long stuff, thinking it's going to take forever to get it done, right? And I've got so much other stuff going on, and I won't give it to somebody else to do because this is my break. I love the outdoors. I love getting outside, whether it's fishing, going to a park, working in the garden, whatever. I actually have a small wood lathe, tiny one, that I pick up and I take outside and I clamp it down to a table outside and I turn outside just to be outdoors doing it instead of doing it in the house, right? So all of that is important to me to do, right? Get my hands in the dirt, growing my own food, right? I love doing it. Yeah, I could just go to the store and buy food, right? It's not the same. Absolutely not the same. And everything we do is organic in our garden. We grow nothing that's not organic in here. My soil is organic. Whatever nutrients we use are organic. We put nothing in there that is not. I had a bug on my plants that we couldn't get rid of naturally. I pulled the plants out. That's it, done. I'm not putting anything on. I'm not contaminating that soil. We don't even let the gardeners in the backyard any longer because we want no chemicals sprayed anywhere on any flowers or anything else. We just don't want it back there. So just one more thing to do, right? Yeah, Jennifer said, me too. Garden, hiking, get outdoors. It's peaceful. Yeah, it's just great. We do a lot of beach, my wife and I, and not sitting on a beach. I'm not that beach body type person. I'm talking about just going in the evenings and walk. We go to Jones Beach a lot. And we walk on the boardwalk there. It's about 3.5 mile walk the way that we go. total 3.5 miles. So we do it in about an hour. We do 3.5 miles. We usually take the dog with us. Yeah, you're not supposed to. We do anyway. He's a little puppy. He goes in the little baby, right? Goes inside of a stroller because he can't walk it any longer. Yeah, but we love getting out there. Mother-in-law is doing better. She's got a bunch of tests coming up this week. She's actually not tests. Visit with the cardiologist again this Wednesday, I think it is. And then she's here. It's Wednesday? Might be Friday. I don't remember. Then she'll be here a couple of days, and she's got some more appointments next week. My wife has taken her to them. So, yeah. So you need to have, and I haven't gone outside and done it yet because we're just getting everything outside clean. But you'll see me do a lot of reels again from outdoors, from out in the backyard, right? I love the space we've built. I love the environment that we've got back there, the vibe, all of it. And I just, to me, that is my get away from it time, space, right? I do all my prep work in the morning. I get everything done. And then I go outside for 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, and just sit in the garden, peaceful, maybe have breakfast out there, maybe, just sit and chill. And I'm running the video camera out there doing some reels while I'm outside. And we talk about whatever, mindset, whatever it is, but you need something in your life that you can separate from your trading, that when you do have a bad trade or you do have a bad day, you've got something else to go and work on or to do that will take you away from all of the craziness of what can happen inside of trading. I don't know if I took a picture of it or not. Let me see. I thought I had it in here. Nope. And I don't think you're gonna really be able to see it from that though. Yeah, I don't think so. So let me see. Trying to get it straight. So that's a tea light candle holder that I built in my shop. Again, this was on a really bad day. I had a really bad trade that day. I didn't have a bad trade. I had a really stupid trade that day, something that I should not have done. That is tiger wood with walnut, black walnut base. It's just up on its fourth coat of finish drying off that day, and that was it. Now this thing sits prominently in our living room, right? So again, something you need to do to just kind of break away from it all, right? So let's go back and talk SPX. Sorry about that rant. Let's go back to the daily chart. What I've actually done is I added a fourth chart to my mix, and I have a 5-minute S&P 500 chart preloaded where I leave it in there at that, that chart template that I can go and look at anytime I want. And again, I could take my regular daily chart, just do the drop down, go to 5-minute or 1 or whatever time frame you want, 3, 5, and check it out from there. So when I saw the market open this morning, I was really focused on what can I find bearish, because we pushed up and we failed, right? Well, that push up, we could not run into that fib line and we failed. So what are we looking at? We've got the 8 and 21 right below us. And we've got that 41.45 level and 41.81 just above our heads there. So we've got to be very cautious of those levels coming up. Are we going to hold this bullish move and break to the upside, or are we going to fail? Yes, we had a slightly lower low here, not by a whole lot, not anything I would consider, oh, we put in a lower low. Yeah, we did, but you get a penny below where the previous one was. It's not like you got a solid cement floor and it can't go down lower than that. Penny off. It could be a bid-ask spread. Could have been a stop price. Who knows? So overall, it looks fine. I'm not worried about it there. But, we've got to get back up to that 41.45. Again, a lot of conversation this weekend I heard on some of the places that I go and look at news. Some of the people that I talk with as well. We just seem to be stuck at a topping pattern in here. And they're talking about what's happened just, a week ago. And then about 3 weeks ago back here, that we can't seem to break out. Keeping in mind that we did have a higher high in there. So this leg up now that we put in this low, this leg up will be important. Does it break through and give us a higher high? And not just a higher high, we actually want to see a higher swing high. where you had a high, a higher high, and then a lower high, right? That middle one, the peak, like we have right here, this highest one, that was the high. The day before we had a lower high, and the day after it, we had day before we had a higher high. The next day was a lower high. Yes, they were both lower, but it's not really called that, okay? Watch the 8, watch the 41.45 level. That's next. We've got to get above it. I'd love to see us close above the 41.45 right now. If we go back and look at futures for today, ES is the S&P 500. So I watched the market open last night. I snuck in. We had relatives over last night. My cousin's was over for the first time with their newborn, who is like almost a year. We just haven't had time to get together. So they came over yesterday with their newborn. I snuck in here last night about 6:15 or so, 6:20, somewhere around there, just to see what the market was doing on the open. We had that nice bounce, and then we failed. We came back in about the European market, got that little rounding bottom pattern in there. And then right about 8 o'clock, news is getting ready to come out, economic reports, and we just fell apart. We've tried to recover since. We just don't seem to be able to, we don't really seem to be able to get through it yet. So back to the SPX one, you got to watch those levels, folks. That's it. I mean, right now, caution grasshopper. I'm spending more time in position number 1 right now of the chair than I am anywhere else, right? It's more sit back and rest and watch. That's today. When we've had the last couple of days, we did, I want to say we did 8 trades. Let me see. Let me see something. Close trade, open trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. We had 10 trades that we did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and most of them Wednesday, Thursday. Amazon was Friday, and Square was Friday. Everything else was Wednesday and Thursday, right? We had a couple of duplicates. We did 2 days in a row on Netflix, 2 on NVIDIA, right? Overall, very pleased with the numbers, and not all winners, right? We had 1, 2, 3 of these go against us. Of these 10 trades, 3 of them. But sorry for my back to you. We had potential setups on Wednesday, between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 1, 2, well, let me see. We got to do it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 potential trades between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Of those 19, 10 of them were taken, right? From our power option plays. All right. Over there. All right, let me see. You guys had some stuff in here. I got you, Brenda. Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate it. FOMC info, 37 days away, 89% chance of no increase, should not affect SPX currently. CPI on Wednesday should affect SPX. So we've got here. Go over Forex Factory. You got CPI mañana. Actually, it's Wednesday. It's not tomorrow, it's Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we've got PPI. Right, you've got unemployment claims, not too worried about Waller speaking. Consumer sentiment is also a big report, right? So there's a lot happening this week, Jim, that could change that number. I appreciate the update very much. Maybe that'd be, if you throw that to us every week when we're doing this, that would be awesome. At least while we're looking at, potential of what's happening as we wind down here. I still think there's a good potential for one more tap into us. They were talking today and they saying, well, we think that was the last one, but we're not sure if he's going to start dropping rates or anytime sooner. Why would he raise last month or last week, and now you're thinking he's going to start dropping rates already? Wouldn't that be a oops, we didn't need to raise? What? Right? Bank lending statements are coming out soon. We're going to talk about what banks are lending, the number of loans and all that. That's going to be big, because I think that's where you're going to see the problem. I don't think it's that people don't want to borrow. Some can't, and I get that because of rates. But if they're waiting for a 1% interest rate or a 3% interest rate, it's not going to happen. Not going to get that again. Just not going to see it. Right? But I think the banks are just going to get very stingy, very selfish with raising rates. Right? So be very cognizant of those numbers as they come out. Yeah, Jennifer said they will not drop rates. I mean, at some point they're going to, but you know, when you look and it shows that inflation is still as high as it is, and now the fear of recession and all of the banking issues, and I'm sure, you know, even Warren Buffett over the weekend at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting had made a statement that bankers, the executives, need to be held accountable legally for the decisions that they make. Right? And I'm listening to, it's a book by Tim Ferriss. I don't remember the name now. Sorry. I'm not good with it. This one's just taking me a while to get through. The Infinite Game. I got about an hour of it left in there. The Infinite Game by Tim Ferriss. Okay. So great book. Absolutely great book. And some of the stuff in there that he talks about, you can relate back to market. He talks about CEOs and the things that they do. And he talked about Wells Fargo Bank in there, where a few years ago, they had opened up thousands and thousands of fake accounts. People were getting insurance bills that they never ordered insurance. And they were basically being incentivized, is the way that he tells it. The workers were being incentivized to just open as many accounts as possible. Right? And what it did to the business and the culture and all of that. You know, did the culture breed that, or was that bred into the culture? Right? It was bottom line for it. So that happened to someone, you know, Brenda said, yeah, yeah, my dad had Wells Fargo when he passed away. I kept the account open for a couple of weeks. Every time I went into that bank, and shook the person's hand at the desk, I counted my fingers when I was done, because I just didn't feel right with them. Now that was just my experience with them. Tripp said, I have several friends that work at local banks. Yes, lenders are nervous. Yeah, Tim Ferriss is awesome. He's got some good stuff out there. So we've got some things coming up this week without a doubt that you've got to be aware of, right? CPI, PPI, come on, where's my mouse? And consumer sentiment are the big ones. Okay. So if we go back in to my number one trade in this market condition, guys, it is very simple, very straightforward. I am not a big fan of holding a lot of stuff overnight for days and weeks at a time right now. Not on a directional position. Not when you look at the market and you see this 3 days down, 3 days up, 3 days down, 2 days up, or 1 day up, 1 day down. Maybe, we don't know yet for today. It's too much of a whipsaw for me to be caught on the wrong side of it. Very soon, inside of Inner Circle and Mastermind Group, I'm hoping soon, I'm going to teach a new day trading strategy component in there. Ultimately, it'll work out to others, but for right now, that'll be the first places that I teach it. Those groups are those, starting with Inner Circle, those groups are our highest level master coaching programs. The students in Inner Circle are phenomenal as a group of taking a strategy, digging in, finding the flaws, and coming back with this work, this doesn't, I like this, I didn't like that, and come on with the thought process. A lot that are in Mastermind, we've got a lot of newer people in there this year. So it's a newer group, very hungry for the knowledge though. So we're going to teach it in there as well. But for right now, if we look at Home Depot, right, let's just go right to Home Depot, because that was a trade set up for today, right? As we look at Home Depot, first thing we've got to do is analyze what's happening. So we got a gap down on today's open. We gap down to right here. right? And then it looks like we got a quick little bounce from there, right? For me, as that's happening first thing this morning, whether it's 1 minute or 30 minutes, I am back here as we're bouncing bullish off of that fib line. Could I have taken the bullish trade? Yes. Am I fighting the overall market? Yes. Stop fighting the market, trade market direction only. If you're a newer trader or you're not as successful as you want to be, and I'm not talking about you making 50 grand a day and you want 80. That's not what I mean. If you're not hitting it yet, you're not there, you're not having the successes that you know you should be having, then don't fight the overall trend of the day. If the market's trending down, play it down, play it bearish. Don't go against it. But I may miss the trade. You might, but you may keep your account and not blow it up, which is much more important to me than you missing a trade. Because it's all about just one trade, right? You're just one trade away. Don't worry about the one that you don't take or that you missed or you should have taken and you did not. Okay, you learned from that. So, but now as we broke and we got down below that fib line, that 288.48 level on the fib line, right? So let's go to Home Depot. Not there. Let's get back to a 5-minute chart. And there's the line, 288.48. It's already in there, right? What happened? So all right, so the market opens. There's the first candle. This is me. I am back here in position 1 in the chair. I don't care. I'm watching it. Am I going to take the bounce? No, I don't want the bounce here. I do not want that trade. I'll pass. Will I miss out? Yes, but I don't want to contend with it. Next candle comes. I'm sitting in position 1 when that candle opens, and now look where we close. I am now in position number 2 in the chair. I am sitting straight up in this chair, right? I'm more open. Here I'm doing what? I'm sitting like this, and my arms are always here. I'm never stretched out. My arms are here, so I'm more closed in. Body language, right? Breathing is less, it's more hampered, right? Because I'm closed in back here. When I sit up, I'm more open, right? My arms are back. I'm prepared. I'm ready. Okay. And we close right at that level. Now, again, I'm not looking for the bounce to the upside. If we start to bounce, I sit back in position 1. I'm okay with that. The next candle, we open up higher and we start to run. So I go back to position number 1. But now if we take this over and look at a 1-minute candle, now you have to understand that this is the 9:45 candle. Okay. That's closing time of the candle. If we go back and look at that, that means 9:41 to 9:45. Right. So here's the open of the day. It's right here. Right. You can see where we broke that fib line. 9:44, 9:45. We pressed down. Right. So right here, when we look at the candles, I'm in position number 2 in the chair, position 1, maybe position 2, position 2, position 1, position 1, position 1, position 2. But now we broke through on that 1-minute candle. That's a 9:44 candle. And now I am literally sitting there saying, okay, I want to enter this about $1 below that level. So about 287.5 is where I want to get in that trade. Right? So where is 287.5? Right? If we look, close enough. Okay. So now I'm watching, but in all of this time, I am looking at this trade saying, all right, I'm in position 2, position 2, position 2. There we go. We hit the 287.5 level. I am in position 1. Actually, I'm in position 1 on this candle because we closed right there. So we get that continuation push down. I'm taking the entry into that trade and we're done. We're in that trade, right? And that's exactly what happened there. So if we go back to a 5, you can see where on this candle, right, which is that 950 candle was the entry into the trade. And we stuck this out, as I said, until we came and got that bounce back and then finally pulled the trigger to get out of that trade. All right. So my trade setup is very simple. Very simple. I looked at a system 3 weeks ago, that someone I know was showing, sharing with me. And I had to know how many knuckles a red-haired turkey would have on their left foot to do the strategy. I mean, there was so many, to me, things that were in there that didn't need to be there. The system became too complex, too complicated to trade effectively. And now if you take multiple strategies like that, right? And let's just say you had two very complicated strategies, and you're not an expert at both of them at this point. You're kind of trading both of them. You're not an expert. What you've just done is you took a glass of water and a glass of milk, and each glass is half full. And you poured the water into the milk, and then you went, oh no, wait, I changed my mind. Well, you can't get the water back out. That's the rules. You've got rules for this trade, but you're mixing them together. And you just don't know how to separate it any longer. That's part of the problem that we run into, is just that, okay? So look at, and guys, a couple of weeks ago, I went through my top 3 candidates to trade in this market, right? Netflix, NFLX, NVIDIA, and Tesla. Rob, they're expensive stocks, are they? So it's Monday, right? It's a Monday. Market's got a couple hours behind, it's about halfway through, right? Let me see where this opens up. All right, so if we go and look at Netflix. All right, so what are we looking at here? So on Netflix right now, they're up $8 today. All right, I'm looking at a 65 delta. I need $1,113 to do one contract. Now, I'm not saying that for some that's not expensive. For some, you may look at that and go, man, y'all nuts. I am not putting $1,100 into one contract for one symbol. I understand. So instead of Netflix, let's look at NVIDIA. All right, let's look at NVIDIA. Let's go back over to the option chain. Let's go grab a pencil. 66 delta on NVIDIA, we're looking at $1,180. Okay. Oh, it's still too expensive, Rob. Let's go look at Tesla. Where's the pen? Okay. We got a 70 delta, we got a 64, we're right there. If we wait for a couple of seconds, maybe we'll get to 65, but at a 70 delta with massive open interest and really good volume, we're at $10, right? Well, remember, it is Monday. It is Monday. Will, you got your TOS open? Good. If you do, I can't see the text chat. Sorry, let me minimize this for a second. Yes, okay. Will, are you able to go in and give me a price Friday morning, call it at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. market time? Give me a price on any one of them. I don't care. Tesla. A price on Tesla at the money option. When I say at the money, not true. 65-ish delta, Will. What was the price on Friday morning about 10 o'clock? And guys, if you have TOS, I don't have it open. It's too much of a bear to run TOS and TradeStation on this while I'm using Zoom. Zoom doesn't like. I've done it before for Mastermind. It doesn't like it. But and if anybody else can grab it, that's fine. If you want to grab a different one. My point that I'm getting at is you will find that those options are very inexpensive come the end of the week. So maybe you're not trading these companies. Maybe you're not trading them at all, and that's okay. You don't have to like the ones that I do. But maybe you don't trade these companies first thing in during the week. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. He doesn't have the right one open right now. That's fine. Don't worry about it. No worries. I appreciate it. Well, thank you. I'll get pricing for you and I'll let you know what it is. Maybe I'll try to open it next week. I probably have to close it right away. But what happens is if you go back and you look, you're going to find that option might be $4 or $5 on a Friday, right? A little bit more on a Thursday, a little bit more on a Wednesday, a little bit more than that on Tuesday. And of course, Monday being the most expensive, right? And if you go and do this on lower price positions, go do it on a Roku or a PayPal, you got really nice premium potential in there. All right, so we've got about 5 minutes, guys. Karen already dropped a couple of symbols in. No, actually wasn't. It seems like there's so many big ones that it's up and down and it's up and down. Yeah, CPI, PPI, PMI. Yeah, I thought they were symbols, Karen. I'm like, nope. You're right. There are big ones. So drop in the companies you want me to take a look at. I will gladly do so as we get ready to wrap up here today. Brenda said 70 cents going, the 70 Delta going for 6.25 to 635 on Tesla. Brenda, thank you very much. So guys, you could have bought Tesla for $600-ish on Friday morning for a 65.70 Delta on Friday, right? So you know, now again, that doesn't mean it fits everybody. Nothing ever will. For some, it's not going to be sexy enough. It doesn't move enough. It's not a high enough price stock. For others, it's way overpriced. They're never going to spend that much on a stock or an option, and that's okay. But Brenda, I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Tripp's got AMD first. Let's do that. Let's go to that 5. All right. So, man, Tripp, what a difference from the day after their earnings when we were talking about this, when we were meeting up that day. And we're talking about AMD. And I mean, look at how this thing is just rocked ever since the earnings have come out. Today was an amazing move. It puts it back into bullish bias. It's probably not true bull. It's close. It's close. Today's closing price, tomorrow's open could be enough to drive it up as long as we don't get a big move down. Right, which was phenomenal. So look at that 93.29 Trip. It's the downside, 96.78. We've had such a big move today. You got to be careful at this point with it. Oh, let me switch the symbol grid out. All symbols. And then Trip's asking for diamonds, DIA. All right, so we can see the entire fib. Just going to drag it out to the right. So we're right in the middle, Trip. Let's see, 330 to 342 is 12.7. Yeah, we need to put in a negative 136 and a 118. They are all right. So right at that fib Trip. I mean, I like where we're at. If we can get the bounce here, 341.5 is a great move. Right, by $5 or $6 there. So very nice. Let me go back and look at that one again, Trip. AMD. Trip said it was a good switchback this morning. Yeah, it was right there, 90.5. Yep. Very nice. Let's see. Brenda's asking for SPY. So we're up at that 413.17 level, Brenda. We've got to either get through there or the pullback. My problem is the pullback only takes us to the 8, which is 410.75. So not a lot of room to the downside. Break the 413, retest bounce. 418 is the target. Skews. When I first started trading professionally, I had a newsletter called XEXQs. QS me, excuse me. It was EX-QS-me, ME, excuse me. Okay. We have about 5,000 people on that email list that I send out the trade setups for the week, every week. Excuse me. So excuse me. So right now it looks like 318.5 is our downside target on the Qs. We're getting close to that 882 now, so we got to be cautious of that being in there. All right, but that 326 is the next upside target. 318.5 is the downside. And then last one is Amazon. So see the whole fib first. Fib is fine. So kind of in the middle. 103.5 is a good downside target. 107.75 is a good upside target. Kind of tough to take it today. I needed to pull back. Yesterday or Friday was the day, or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, where it stretched back to the 103.60. Give it some strength. Yeah, so I'd like to see the pullback first, right, on Amazon. There you have it. Trader Will said, still in AMD, up another 490 today. Good job, Will. Good job. Very nice. I love it. Absolutely love it. Will is in our inner circle, guys. Will knows his stuff, man. Fantastic. For those of you that are in Mastermind and you come to the live event in New York that we do once a year, which will be this September or October, we're going to start planning it pretty soon. Make sure you find Will. He'll be in that room with us. In a circle mastermind together, find Will and ask him some questions on what he's doing. Good trader. So, all right. So listen, while you're in the mode of being in class, go ahead over to Trading Like a Boss, right? Get registered for Tony's patterns today. And then while you're there, go ahead and click on the Trading Coaches Playbook and get registered for that as well. All right, with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, everybody. I'll see you at our next update. Bye for now.